Next up is a movie called The Image of You, and here it says the movie is about a twisted tale of deception and desire based on the best-selling thriller by Adele Parks. By the way, Eric Holmes actually recently interviewed Adele Parks, maybe a week or so ago. Center's identical twins, Anna and Zoe, find their bond tested over Anna's new love, Nick. While the trusting Anna is head over heels, her skeptical sister Zoe senses a web of deceit. Dun dun dun. The movie stars Sasha Pieterse.
Pieterse?
I'm sorry.
It's Pieterse.
Pieterse. Thank you, Eric. Sasha Pieterse, Parker Young, Nestor Carbonell, and Academy Award winner Mira Sorvino. Eric Holmes, this looks like a cheap little thriller that probably Bruce and I might say, whatever. But I think you have other thoughts about The Image of You. What are they?
I do. Definitely a little trashy, I guess, but it kind of works in that lane.
Oh my gosh, Eric Holmes, does that mean you're a fan of trashy stuff? Do you like trashy?
I love trashy stuff. I would call this like an erotic thriller. It's definitely a thriller. It doesn't go as erotic as like a 50 Shades of Grey, but it definitely has its sexy scenes for sure. Yeah, basically Sasha Pieterse, if I'm saying the name correctly, plays twin sisters Annie and Zoe. And Anna meets Nick, seems like a good guy, and dating for like a very short period of time. They want to get married. And then at one point, Zoe meets Nick, and the two of them have sex. And Nick immediately agrees.
That's a spoiler alert, Eric. They're not. I'm kidding. I'm joking. Good.
But
sorry,
the two of them have sex, and then it's, oh no, what did I do? And then, is he going to keep up the relationship, or is Zoe going to tell Anna? And then it's that whole thing. And then it goes other places, but we'll leave that alone. This is like kind of like we talked about Au Pair Nightmare, Joe Russo.
Yes, I know that was cool. That was a good movie.
This kind of has a similar kind of vibe to it.
Is it elevated trashy thriller? Meaning trashy could be good sometime.
I don't want to say elevated because I think it stays in its lane. Like elevated implies that we're doing this genre that we're too good for, therefore we need to add more spices to it to pretty it up a bit. This one just kind of it's just like Au Pair Nightmare. It like knows what it is and it stays in that lane, and it's a really good version of that thing that it's doing. Once I realized who Adele Parks was when I was going to interview her, I was like, oh, this is based on a novel. Well, I want to read the novel. And now I'm reading the novel, so it's kind of hard talking about the movie because like the two kind of inform each other, kind of like how Hold the Dark did, at least for me. Like I watched Hold the Dark and I liked the movie. And then I started reading the book, and then the book had stuff that the movie did, where the movie had stuff that the book didn't. So like the two like merged together in my head.
Are you enjoying the book?
Oh, I'm loving the book. In fact, the book is kind of filling in gaps that the movie just doesn't have time for. So it's kind of making me retroactively like the movie even more, because like the movies has like there's certain personal stuff that in an hour and a half movie you just don't have time for. And so when the book gets to fill in those blanks and then you go back and watch the movie, it's like, I see the little details and the little things they wiggled in and out. And it's really good. That said, I think this is a movie this would be like just right away. This is 3-star banger, like all the way, because there's a certain group of people that this movie is going to be absolute catnip for. Like I imagine my sister would love this movie. There are other people,
Bruce
Bruce that are just going to watch
No.
this and be like, nope, not for me.
You know what you're saying? Bruce won't give it 5 stars. Bruce is not.
No, probably not. But
Bruce, can you stop? Hey, are you still on that high horse you're on, Bruce? Because come down to Eric and start reading some trashy novels. Like hang out with him and Adele Parks, huh?
I'm sorry, I was daydreaming about Jade and Mulholland Falls.
Sir Bruce Perky, we stand before thee, your humble servant, cinematic god. No, I'm kidding, Bruce. Go ahead.
But this is a movie that
would I love it? Would I like it?
I think you would, because because I like
everything.
has that kind of erotic, trashy kind of streak to him that you dig, and this kind of has a similar sort of thing. And the thing is, like I set up the basic premise, it goes down other roads.
Is that the fact that it goes down other roads, Eric? Is that why you actually even if this was a guilty pleasure, you could have finished the movie and you have a busy day. You decided to actually go overboard and read the novel. You didn't
Yeah.
have to do that. So that's the reason why?
Well,
Because
first of all, listening to the audiobook, but I'm not quite done with it yet.
still counts. That still
But
counts, right?
I've heard that the ending of the novel is different than the movie. I'm very curious to see how the novel ends, because the weird thing is in the movie, and I'm not going to say like even hint at what happens, but the movie goes places, and as it's going there, I'm kind of rolling my eyes, going, no, stop, no, doesn't make sense. Okay, all right, you tied up that. Oh, okay. Oh, I see now. I see. You scare me for a second, but I see I see how all this fits together. And so I'm really curious to finish the rest of the book. And because apparently the book is like different, the ending's different than the movie. So I'm very curious to see how that goes. Yeah, if you're like a fan of like 50 Shades of Grey or like Lifetime or De Palma or like erotic thrillers, this one's a good one. Definitely check it out. If you're not, then avoid it like the plague. But if you do enjoy this movie, I would definitely recommend going to read the book or listen to the audiobook, because it's kind of, the further I get into the book, the more it's making me love the movie in retrospect.
For some reason, Eric Holmes has guarded the spoiler stuff of The Image of You more than any other film that he's absolutely reviewed in our Find Your Film CinemAddicts universe. It's like he's reviewing Fort Knox. That means he must really enjoy The Image of You. I'm going to give this movie a shot as well, because, and maybe Bruce Perky would give this movie a shot. I'm really going to give this a shot, because if Eric went novel form, I'm going for it. Yes, Eric.
I'm almost curious because I mean, the novel is a bestseller. I didn't know about it until I saw the movie. I'm very curious of if anyone read the novel, or if for anyone that hasn't seen the movie, if you read the novel or listen to the audiobook first and then go watch the movie, like I wonder what that experience is, because I'm going at it backwards and I'm loving it, but I'd be very curious to see what people going the other way think.
I'm excited. I'm going to give this movie a shot. Directed by Jeff Fisher, based again on the best-selling thriller by Adele Parks. That is The Image of You. Eric Holmes, you gave it again. What is your rating?
3-star banger.
3-star banger.
If you're in for this kind of movie, this is going to be catnip for you. If you are not, this is not going to win you over.
Okay. Theaters and digital on May 10th.